Our next presentation is by my friend Richard Amadril, and Richard is the CEO of Luminys, as well as SoftSun, the people that make those gigantic, what is it, 30 amp?
Oh,
lights?
30,000. I would
30,000.
kill if I could plug it into 30 amps. Are you crazy? Yeah. Well, the Xenon SoftSun, so everybody knows, we have 100,000 watt units, 200,000 watt units, except it's older technology. The color is wonderful, but you lose half the power that you plug in because it's got a 0.5 power factor. Nothing else in here is anything close to that wasteful.
So I only left out like 3 zeros, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Take it
Yeah,
away.
yeah. You only need twice what you put in. We'll start with that big white thing you guys see there. That's not a ballast for another light or anything like that. That's actually something we developed during the pandemic, which is a UVC air cleaner. Works to kill COVID and basically anything else in the air, and we recently were awarded a patent for the US for the design. So yeah, there it is. We're doing more than just lights. We'll start the big white thing. They come smaller, but that's a big one. We'll start with some of the little guys we have up here. This is our 1500 watt lightning strikes. Works with the same controller as all our other units. You get about as much kick out of this as you do with our traditional 8K Paparazzi. So we call that a 1500 watt Paparazzi. It breaks down really small, really no heat, easy to rig places, do different things, different effects you need to achieve. Hey, this guy's not on, but this is basically the same COB that's in here that you can only flash with a fan and everything on like that. Then it can be a continuous light. And we call it the tabletop sun because we developed it for tabletop high speed, stuff like that. But it's got a fan. So this amount of noise, if you're recording sound, your sound guy's not going to be very happy. But that's sort of why we reference it as a high speed light. That's good with that. Now let's do, the next thing we'll show is laser-driven phosphor. What's different about this is traditional LED is like a blue diode behind phosphor. This is actually a blue laser behind phosphor. You see this technology mostly right now in headlights, things like that. This we developed to basically replace 7K xenon, which is a sister technology to our SoftSuns and lightning strikes. And the idea is it focuses by basically the beam converges at different distances. But if you imagine like searchlights, like the lights on top of the Luxor, the lights at the 9/11 Memorial, that's what this is intended to do. It actually has more output than a 7K xenon, and it runs on about 1,800 watts of power. So that's pretty amazing. Now the one thing that we'll say is the white is terrible for skin tones, right? There's no red, there's no blue. It's all just about output. And that's this first model. It took a lot of engineering to get it to basically get the laser gets so hot that we need to cool it with a heat pipe. And then when we tried to get them next to each other so we could make a thicker beam, they would just overheat each other. So now that we've got that part working, I'm sure we'll spend the next year or so like changing the phosphors, figuring out how we make like a cinema version, one that you could actually shoot skin with. But this one, it's ugly. Let's do the GE light. And then this next light that we'll show, we do a lot of light for jet engine testing, car crash testing facilities. This one that you see here, we have usually in a daylight version, but what happens is it's a nice 2x2 panel with tons of output. But every time someone comes into the shop, they see it and they go, what's that light? But again, the original one that we made was for high-speed testing, and didn't have enough red, didn't have enough full spectrum, you know, to shoot skin, to do stuff like that. So this one, we basically just put warm, you know, about 3200 in there with good skin tone and good color. And again, it's just one color, by the way. There's no color changing because in that application, we don't want to give up any real estate for the red and the green and the blue. It's all about, you know, an immense amount of light that has good color rendering. And then that's cool. We can move on to the, I can't see you over there now. So I'm blind. That's the other thing that happens. Don't look right into it. I get it, it's an LED, but still, it's tough. And the last thing we'll show is our new 70K lightning strikes fixture, where we've redesigned the reflector around the lamp, and we're getting about almost 3 times more output from the 70K than we were with the previous design. And here we're running it at 70,000 watts off our Thunderbolt's battery pack. And what the Thunderbolt lets you do is you just plug the battery pack into regular wall power, it continuously charges, and then you can hit the lightning whenever you want. Like now. Yeah, and you see the difference. Yeah, you know, and that's the point. It looks like real lightning, you know, and that's it. We burned through it. That's
Thank you very
everything.
much, Richard.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, James, for such an awesome event and everything you